Okay, let's give everybody a chance to come on in. Come on into the room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Dr. Sherry, and we are ready to get started today. Ooh, it's a lot going on this week. A lot going on. Oh boy. So, and we're going to kind of deal with every layer of what's happening this week. Okay. Uh, let's see. Where is everyone? If you're watching this on playback, of course, you know we do the live. Oh, here they come. Okay. It was a slow entering today. So anyway, let me just go through the regular announcements while we're waiting for everybody to come in. If this is your first time here, please give us a thumbs up. Okay. It helps push this out a little further. So, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You guys subscribe to the channel. Every time I come on, you will receive a notification. All right. Let's see who is coming in the house. Hey, Miss Deborah, how are you? Hi, hi, hi. Grand Rising. Hi, Audra. Oh, okay. You're changing your status. Good. Good. Hi, Lady Ash. How are you? What's the fastest way someone can seek your attention if they need you in a situation? Okay, let me add this. I thought it was on here, but I guess it's not. Give me a second. And what we'll do is we'll start the banner. There you go. So if you have something going on and you need to get in contact with me, if you'll go to newstatusnewlife.com, you can send an email to info@newstatusnewlife.com. And I have a team over there that kind of helps me manage inquiries and situations that come in. Okay. And you can also go to my link bio. Uh, is it on here? I think it is. lnk.bio/I am. Yep, there it is. Okay. Or right there. Okay, let's see who else is coming in. Hey, Harrison, how are you? How are you doing? I'm so excited. It's moving forward. I got some acceptance on the Global Bank. Yes. Congratulations, Miss Deborah. Good job. Good job. Hey, Gerald, how are you? They are awesome. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's get started on what we need to talk about today. I don't even know where to begin today because this week was a very emotional week for me. Very emotional week. And if you're watching my birth chart blueprint, if you're watching those episodes, you understand how all of that is kind of tapped into what's happening right now. And so, for those that don't know, or for those that don't understand, I'm going to say this, and I generally don't talk about this on this channel, but I'm going to say it so you can get an idea of what's happening. We have something very profound happening right now, very, very profound, that has not happened for 165 years. Okay. I'm going to say it again. It has not happened for 165 years. All right. And it will be happening on Monday, January 26, 2026. And so what's happened? And so let me ask you all a question. Let's start here. Let me see. Do I have can you still claim your estate after being probate or after probate? Can you? Okay. That's a question you're going to have to hit me. That was a little bit too deep for this private life show. Okay, so we're going to talk about that offline, or join the school. Okay, and the information for the school is right there. All right, let me see if I have the capabilities of doing surveys. I'm not sure. Do I have those capabilities? No, I don't. I thought I had seen that somewhere before. No. Okay. All right, no problem. Y'all can just put it in chat. Just give me a thumbs up. And the question is, do you believe as above, so below? It's either yes or no. Just put yes or no. Do you believe as above, so below? And I do have a bank update for you as well. Okay. So we're going to kind of get into all of that. Do you believe as above, so below? Either yes or no. Okay. Got a yes. Got a yes. It's a little slow, but we have another yes. There it is. Okay, we have all yeses. Yes. Yes. In fact, let me just do this. Let me just show it on the screen. I don't know why it's an extreme delay with my computer today. I'm not shocked though. I'm not shocked. Okay. So I see all yeses on my end. All yeses. And whenever my computer catches up, there we go. All right. So you'll see it there too. We have all yeses. All right. So if you believe as above, so below. If you really believe that, then you have to know that whatever happens in the heavens, right, begins to happen here on earth. All right. So in the heavens, and I'm starting this because I'm going to give you, I got a lot of updates as far as the bank's concerned. I have some updates on some things that have taken place this week with some ASNs. That's very, very serious. And I'm going to share that with you guys. But I'm starting today like this because I want you to begin to take, if you haven't already, and this is not to everybody, okay? This is for the ones that need to hear what I'm saying right now. If you haven't taken your life seriously, if you haven't taken the time to understand truly who you are, if you haven't taken the time to understand how you should move in life, what steps you should take, right? This is the time you need to do it. Okay? This is the time you need to do it. This is the time where you need to really put you first and understand who you are. Because when you understand who you are, it's going to help you move through life in a way that, for one, your feet will be planted. Okay? You won't be planted on sinking sand. Okay? Let's be very, very clear with that. Your feet will be planted and you won't be planted on sinking sand. That's very important. So, what I'm going to share with you now, you're going to already have. Well, let me ask you guys this, and I'm moving slow in this because I'm kind of building. I'm kind of building because I want you to really understand what I'm talking about. How many of you have had the desire to clean out, get rid of, end stuff this week? Either clean out, get rid of, or end something this week, even if it's ending relationships, ending jobs, completing projects, um, getting stuff in order. Put in chat if you had the desire to do that this week. Okay, Miss Deborah. Okay, Lady Ash. Okay. Oh, a lot of you guys. Okay. Audra, Antoinette, Grand Rising, Miss Kelly. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let me explain to you what's happening. What is happening right now is the desire to end. We are ending a cycle. We are ending. We're coming to a completion. We're coming to a halt. We are stopping. Okay. We are stopping, like we're coming to an abrupt end on Monday. An abrupt end on Monday. All right. So if you've had this feeling welling up on you, as above, so below. Okay. Again, as above, so below. All right. So what is happening on Monday is the planet Neptune is ending out its 165-year cycle. It's in the sign of Pisces right now. Pisces is a spiritual sign. Pisces can also be a sign of not knowing. Pisces sometimes can have a cloud over things where you can't really see things clearly. Okay. But Pisces has wisdom and spirituality. Okay. Pisces is the oldest sign. So this is where you embody all of the signs. Okay. Some of you may have felt a little confused, not really knowing what direction you should take. Okay. All of that may have come to a head, a boiling point this week. Because on Monday, after 15 years in the sign of Pisces, Neptune will enter the sign of Aries, where it starts all over again. So it's a new beginning coming before everyone come Monday. Now, what does that have to do with all of the weather that we're hearing? I keep telling you guys over and over and over again, and I hope that one day everybody believes me and it finally clicks. The billionaires are 1,000 years ahead of you. Not 50, not 100 years, 1,000 years ahead of you. 1,000 years ahead. I'm not lying to you. They plan out, they have astrologists on their staff, and they know their plan 1,000 years out. They plan for their generations, their third and fourth generations, and the third and fourth generations of those generations. We plan for the next holiday. Do you see the difference here? Do you see what's happening? Do you see why we got to get ourselves together and to get in alignment? We have to get in alignment. And I don't care what religious belief you have. That has nothing to do with this. Nothing. So let me just say this. When the storm came through Florida a couple of years ago, I knew about that storm a year before it happened. And I'm going to tell you how I knew about it. Not from anything that I did or I had a crystal ball or anything like that. No. I literally just subscribed to a channel of a man who actually has been doing this type of work for mostly all of his life, to be honest with you. Okay. And he gives forecast for millionaires and billionaires. And he stated that there's going to be a hurricane that's going to come through the size of Florida. And do you know, I planned to move out of Florida because I believed him when he said that. And I moved the day of the very first hurricane, and there were several hurricanes that happened after that. I literally moved out the day of the first hurricane. I didn't know that was going to be the day, but I'm trying to tell you guys, even when you don't know, you still know when you're in alignment. So I said all that to say this. With this storm that's coming in, sometimes these things are created. Sometimes they're man-made. And it has already been proven that there are patterns. There are patterns for hurricanes. There are patterns for tornadoes. There are patterns for clouds. There are patterns for rain. There are patterns for all blizzards. There are patterns for tsunamis. They know how to create these weather conditions. And it's just funny to me how all of this is supposed to actually bull to the top on Sunday and Monday. Everything should have already occurred with how many inches of snow or ice that certain locations are going to get. What I am telling you guys is that You have to get to the point that your spirit will start to align where you will know what's going to happen weeks and months before it happens. All right? Because they know. So they know Monday, Neptune is moving into Aries. They know that everything is coming to an abrupt end. They know how everybody's behaviors are going to be. They know. Do you know that when Neptune went into Aries sometime, I think like May of last year, when Neptune went into Aries this time around May of last year, people's behaviors were much more aggressive. So they're expecting that. So how do we handle this abrupt shift from Neptune coming from Pisces into Aries? We put everybody at a standstill where they can't move, they can't do anything. Everybody stay home. When is the last time you saw when everybody had to stay home? Do you remember? Do you remember? Huh? You think that was planned too? I just want y'all to start thinking. I'm not going to speak too much on this because I already know how the YouTube be YouTubing. Okay, so I'm not going to speak any more on this. But I wanted to start there. And I wanted you to begin to see already the aggression, the aggressiveness in the behaviors and the aggression. So now let me tell you what happened this week, which really makes me sad. And that's why I think I'm not as happy today as I'm generally happy. I'm generally happy. I'm generally upbeat, right? But I'm not today. I'm not today. I'm gonna be honest with you guys because something happened this week that has really, really made me sad. And it affects all of us. Some of you know about it already, some of you do not. So I'm going to share it with you now. All right. And while I'm sharing, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. When you give us a thumbs up, you guys, it helps push this out a little further. All right. When you decide to become status corrected, it's a choice that you're making for yourself, right? It's a choice that you're making possibly for your children, your family. Um, it's a choice that you're making to be free. And it's your choice. It's our choice to have the decision to be free, right? And it shouldn't be anything wrong with that. Okay? Um it's our choice on who we want to govern us. It's our choice, and it was given to us from the Most High. It was given to us by our Creator. And so when a right that is given to us is taken away from us, it hurts. And so this week, some of you know, some of you do not know. You don't. Some of you know Nitty, and some of you don't know Nitty. Okay, Nitty is an American state national who works very closely with the North Carolina Assembly and has for quite some time. Nitty also has a YouTube channel that Anna used to come on. She hadn't been on in about a couple months now because she's doing so much. But she comes on. It's called the United States of America podcast. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you're familiar with Nitty or the podcast. Put a thumbs up if you're familiar with Nitty and the United States of America podcast, one or the other. Okay. So when I first started my walk, my journey, that was a channel I would watch faithfully. And I started at episode 1, and I watched all of them when I was starting to learn how to become status corrected. So that channel was very, very effective in my own life. And it's still there. It's called the United States of America podcast, and it's on YouTube. All right. So if you haven't had a chance or you're trying to learn, that's a great place to learn. That's a great place to get understanding. So as Nitty was progressing in her own journey, it was at one point where she wasn't, doing the tags on a car, and she had the insurance. And let me just tell you how Nitty became status corrected. Let me just tell you this. And for those that are here with me, stick with me because this is kind of emotional for me. So if I'm going slow, that's because I don't want to break down and cry. Okay, so I'm trying to. For those that know me, I'm really emotional. I can get there. I can get really emotional. Okay, so I'm just trying to kind of ease into this. I'm just trying to ease into it. So in the beginning, when Nitty was on her journey, she didn't do the tag, she didn't do the insurance. This was early on, and how Nitty became American, how she became private, is her daughter got the shot, and she passed away. Her daughter passed, and so Nitty was one how do you spell it? Niti. Niti. Okay. So Nitty was one that was introduced to this journey through pain from the loss of her daughter and believing a system that took her child from her. So she's very passionate about this journey. She's very passionate about her channel and giving the information and teaching people to be free. She's very, very, very passionate about it. So this week, Nitty actually got the Z tags on her car. She had a shirt on that was, talking about being free, and I can't remember exactly what it said, but it said something like, I'm breaking the law because I'm lawful. I'm lawful, or something like that. It was something like that. A shirt that she had on. I can't remember the words, but it was. I remember it said something like, "I'm breaking the law because I'm lawful," or something to that effect. So she had the shirt on. She had her Z tags on the back. So for those that don't know what Z tags are, when you decide that you want to be private or you want to actually walk this journey, like in all aspects of your life, okay, when it comes to the part of traveling, some people actually get the travel kit, so they travel with the travel kit. Okay, they actually use their passport card. Remember, you don't have to do the license, you just have to identify. So they'll do the passport card, they'll have the travel kit in their car just in case they're pulled over. They generally don't have insurance anymore. They generally would deregister their car from the system, and they'll put a Z tag on the back that represents who they are. And so Nitty had done this. I mean, she went to the next level of her freedom, where she wanted to actually begin to travel as opposed to be labeled as a driver, which United States citizens are drivers, right? Okay. So this week, Nitty was driving, and so she explains how the road that she was on kind of dips, kind of goes like that, right? So of course, when you're going down the hill, you're going to accelerate. That's just normal for the car because you're going down the hill. So the police had a speed trap right at the bottom of the hill where the car accelerates. And then of course, when the car goes back up, it slows down. So she was caught in the speed trap. It was like 55 miles per hour. And I forgot what they clocked her at. But anyway, they pulled her over. She has the Z tags on the back of the car. And she cracks the window just this much because she doesn't want a contract. So she just cracks it enough just to communicate for them to hear her and for her to be able to hear the officer. And this is on her channel too. So she explains this. So I'm just trying to kind of summarize, but she actually has talked about this on her channel. And so the officer says, oh, when he asked for her license, she said, I don't have a license. I refuse. I don't volunteer. I'm not contracting. And he says, oh, it's one of you all. And he says, I'm not up for the sovereign citizen bull today, or something similar to that. He says, I'm not up for the sovereign citizen. I remember clearly he said sovereign citizen. Well, we're not sovereign citizens, right? There's no such thing, because sovereign means to be free. Citizen means to be under the control or be governed by a system. That's a citizen. So when you say sovereign citizen, it's an oxymoron. It's an oxymoron, right? So she said that the officer got on his, I guess, walkie-talkie, whatever the thing they call it, and he called for backup. It's just her in a car. And she's little. So when she looks up, there's 10 officers there. And at this point, he's telling her to get out the car, and she's saying, well, for what? What have I, you haven't told me what I've done. You haven't told me what this is about. So at this point, officers are on her left, officers are on her right. She says that she said her doors are locked. She says that now they have something in their car that can unlock your doors. Did you all know that? Officers actually have something in their car now that can literally unlock your doors. And they unlocked her door. They pulled her out, yanked her out, threw her on the ground, and put her in handcuffs. And she still didn't know why she was arrested. He finally ended up telling her she was being arrested for resisting arrest. And they stated that she was resisting arrest, but she didn't know why she was being arrested. Do you see what's happening here? Now go back to what I told you about Neptune. Entering Aries, finishing up everything. People's behavior starting to be aggressive. This is the climate that we're moving into. And that's why I started with, if you don't believe, I want you to dig deep down in your spirit to try to understand what's going on. Okay? Because it's the environment that we're moving into. The cloud is coming off. Understanding is happening. The veil is being ripped apart now because the tare is separating from the wheat as we speak. Where you stand is going to rise to the occasion. You no longer will be able to hide behind the shield of someone else. It is at the point where you're going to have to know this for yourself. And so I'm so happy that Nitty stood her ground up underneath all of these cops. She didn't freak out. And this is the thing. I dreamed of someone being arrested this week. And now I'm in hindsight thinking, was I dreaming of Nitty and did not know it was her? Because it was clearly a traffic situation that kind of stemmed this in my mind. So I don't know. And my dreams have been, and for some of you too, your dreams may have been a little bit more powerful and more frequently these last couple of weeks, because they have for me. And I had stopped dreaming for a minute. And just the last couple of weeks, I've started back dreaming again. So they arrest Nitty. They put her in the vehicle, took her to, put her in the cell, scanned her body, and she kept saying, I do not contract, I do not volunteer. She kept saying it all over and over and over and everything they were doing to her, making her take the mug shot. I mean, just humiliating her because of stating that she resisted arrest and they never told her why she was being arrested. Put her in a cell. She's in a cell with us. She said, talked about an older lady who literally had just had a hip replacement. Didn't even know why she was there. Couple of them was in there for fighting. So Nitty took the opportunity to begin educating. And that's the kind of woman she is. She used an opportunity to educate them about the shirt that she had on, who she was, and who they were not. Okay? They got her out of the cell. She said she was in there just a very short amount of time. And they took her in front of the judge. Judge made her pay $500, gave her a signature bond. She said she was out so quickly that her ride didn't even have time to come pick her up. What am I telling you guys? It's a sad state now because this is happening. Things are happening. You might be placed in a situation where you're going to have to take a stand. And now you have to ask yourself, do you have the courage to take a stand now? Do you have the courage to look a judge or a police officer in their eye and let them know that you don't understand who you are? I know who I am. You're doing this because you don't know. Do you have the courage to be thrown on the ground, to be handcuffed? I mean, it's mind-blowing at this point that there are ASNs that are literally being arrested now. And there's others that I could talk about. I don't feel like talking about it because I don't feel like getting emotional about this stuff. Something that should be so simple is not. Something that's very easy to understand is not, because we're dealing with something else. And I tell you guys, week after week after week, there are 3 systems at play now. What are the 3? So let me just see how many. I want to see how many of y'all have been listening to me. What are the 3 systems that I've told you that are at play every minute of the day? I've been saying this for weeks now. There are 3 systems at play. 3 systems at play. Who remembers? Type it in. I just want to see if y'all are listening to me. If you're believing what I'm saying to you. I went to jail fighting this. I know. Yeah, if you all want to listen to Harrison's story, I actually interviewed him on, I think the second episode of Case Watch. So if you go to episode 2, I think 2 or 3, those are jurisdictions, AirC Atlanta jurisdictions. So the 3 areas that I told you are at play are the de jure, the de facto, and the spiritual, right? And I told you guys you needed to know all 3. Remember? There you go. The de jure, the de facto, and the spiritual. And you need to know all 3. As above, so below. So don't think for 1 minute that this storm is coming through is an isolated experience. It is not. It plays into the 3, just like I told you guys. And all of this is connected. All of this is connected. So when you refuse to learn one, you're putting yourself at an extreme disadvantage. You're putting yourself at an extreme disadvantage. So Nitty's going to do all the things, place the lien on all the cops that were there. She said it was about 10 of them for 1 woman. Like, really? You need all of this? And she said she told them, y'all really need all of this for me. Some things just don't make logical sense. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of people are you? You know, what kind of people are you? You are your fathers, your sons. Some of you might be husbands, your brothers, your uncles. So, and when you're in a situation like that, as a police officer, don't you just ask yourself, is this a bit too much? Right? Yeah, what a very weak system. Exactly. They picked on one woman. Literally, that one man could have just handled this and still without reason. Exactly. No, they gave her a reason. She was resisting arrest, which makes no sense. None of it makes any sense. But it doesn't have to make sense. That's the whole purpose of their system. It doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. Okay, so they never arrested me. Yeah, they detained Harrison for over a month and never even arrested him. They are threatened by her knowledge of herself. Yes, they are. So why am I saying this to you all? So if you were guided to listen to me, if you were guided to this channel, it's for a reason. All right. And we're not going to take it for granted. I want you all to listen to all of the signs, be aware of the signs that are occurring. Moving forward, don't take any of this for granted. If your spirit guides you to do something, trust yourself, trust your wisdom. Okay? Do understand that where we're moving to is a very, very, very serious space. It's a very serious space. It's a new beginning. Okay? Things will be starting over again, but the veil has come off now. The cloudiness of not understanding the decisions, the situations, that is removed now. You're going to begin to see very clearly where people stand. The tare has separated from the wheat. It is done. Okay? It's done. All right. That's all I want to talk about with that. Global Bank update. If you're in a school, you actually saw where I actually placed my vendor's account, a picture of my vendor's account in the school, right? And so you actually saw on my vendor's account that it has all of the tabs, all of them are there. Okay. I can actually do the conversions and all of that kind of stuff with those tools, but the account's not funded. So I wish I could take the money from my other account and put it over into my vendor's account. Ain't no way that can happen right now. Because if I could do that, we'd be good. We'd be ready to go. So we're waiting for the vendor accounts to be funded. And they did state that everything would kick off first with the vendor accounts. And so for those that have businesses, you can get a vendor's account, right? Just go through and do the steps. That's there for you. Now, at this point, I don't know how long it's going to take. I have one, but I cannot set it up until I get it. Yeah, you have to get a number first, right? Okay, so that was big movement this week. Some of you actually have the prosperity tools on your regular account. Some do and some don't. Put in chat if you have a global bank account that's been funded, a personal one. Put in chat if you have the tools tab. I don't have the tools tab on mine yet, but I just want to see for those that are listening in. Put on there if you have the tools tab. All tabs are in my trust account. Okay. Let me see. Yes. Okay. Like everybody has theirs. Wow. Yeah, I don't have the tools on mine yet. I have everything else on I don't have it on my personal account. I don't have the tools. Everybody has the tools. Maybe I need to get a little message out. I do. Okay, wow. All right. I have it on my vendor's account, but not I need to check today. I need to check. I haven't checked it today. So maybe it's there now. Yes, to tools bar, but no account yet. Oh, wow. So you already have the tools and not the account? Okay. It says prosperity. Yes, prosperity tools. Yes. Okay. All right. So we've had movement, and all the tongue tied. All deposits have been made. So you should have received your deposits. And this is the last thing I want to talk about. And I want to be very clear with this because this is another thing that has come up. The global bank does not have to work with anybody. Put a pin in that. The global bank does not have to work with anybody. Let's be clear with that. Okay. Okay. The global bank, I'll try to touch a little bit on Greenland. In fact, somebody sent me a message about that in the school about Greenland. However, Greenland has not received her deposits from last year. So she might, if she hasn't received her deposits yet, then she might want to send a message. But let me just say this part right here. If you are in a space of negativity, if you're in a space of not being a positive person, right? If you are a hellraiser, since I've had my school, I've only kind of kicked one person. I didn't really kick her out. She actually removed herself eventually because she came in with the bull. And I let her know, oh, no, honey, not over here. Not over here. Because it doesn't take a lot of energy just to be kind, right? In our speech, how we behave, it just doesn't. Now, am I saying that there's not going to be times where you have to raise up? No, I'm not saying that. There are going to be times where you just going to have to get somebody straight. That's just it, right? But I'm talking about your everyday normal behavior. You don't have to be in a position to start something. You don't have to be in a position to antagonize. You don't have to be in a position to egg negativity on. And if you are from that space and you're dealing with the global bank, do understand they do not have to work with you. They don't. Because when Hunter started Global Bank many, many years ago, remember now, he was doing this separately from what Anna was doing. It's just that down the road, they kind of joined forces. Okay. He was already trying to bring a financial freedom to those that were sovereign. He was already doing it. Because, it really is easy to open up a bank, right? It's easy to do it. In fact, they give it to you in their codes that you can open a bank and they show you how. Okay. Oh, that was Gerald. That's right, Gerald. You sent the message about Greenland. Okay, we'll try to touch on it just a little bit. So from the global bank standpoint, they are doing everything out of love. And if this is too hard for you, this part right here, you're going to have to sign off, baby. You're going to have to sign off. If moving out of love is too hard for you, it's not the right place for you. I'm telling you, okay? So some people's accounts have been canceled, blocked, nada deposit, none, nunca. And that's never in Spanish. I think nada is none. I remember them little N words in Spanish, in Espanol. Okay. Gone. Because of their behaviors. So let's be clear. When you're sending emails to the global bank, be kind, be nice, be courteous, because they don't have to even communicate with you. They don't have to contact you. They don't have to do anything with you. They're doing what they're doing simply out of love. So it brings me to this. If you are a Debbie Downer or a negative Nancy and you're talking down about the global bank, you don't have to participate. Get out. If you're complaining about what they're doing or what they're not doing, get out. Now, where I stand, do I want the bank open? Absolutely. Have I got a little bit emotional when I thought it was going to open this week and it did not, and it said it was going to open that week and it did? Absolutely. But I was careful in what I said because I realized at the end of the day, it's still a blessing. And I'm quite sure that those that are working day in and day out, I'm 1,000% sure they want the bank to open like yesterday. There's no way I'm going to give 10 years of my life in something and not want it to eventually work. Okay? So I want us to be cautious about our behaviors. I want us to be cautious on how we are talking about the global bank. And I want us to be cautious and cognizant to make sure that we are being respectful in our tone. Okay? And here's the statement right here. You can't rush greatness. Absolutely. All right, touching on Greenland. Here it goes. The spiritual, the de facto, the de facto, the de jure. We got three systems at play right now. Okay. Greenland actually represents us. It actually represents the land of the people. So and some of you, I want you to research this. So when the President Maduro was taken or arrested or whatever they want to say, brought to America to stand charges. When you look at the word Maduro, his last name, it actually converts down the line from the word more. All right. So what is happening right now? And again, this is going deep, and I'm not really going as deep in this as I should, because some of you are going to be looking at me like, what is she talking about? But that's okay. I don't care because I don't feel like going deep. All right. So you're going to have to catch me on another conversation. But what is happening right now? Everything that has happened is happening for a reason. And I know when we look at what's happening with ICE on American soil, okay, and them taking immigrants and taking them back to their original land, okay, what has happened with Venezuela first, Venezuela being the place of resources, being a place of substantial oil, okay, being a actual rock in the financial society for the world. That's where Venezuela stood and still stands. Okay. Venezuela can literally collapse the financial market of the world. Okay. So it had to be put under control. And this is the thing. And this might make some people mad. I don't care. I don't care. When Trump used to wear that red hat, what did it say on that red hat? Because this is where I'm just going to bring it home for y'all. Put in the chat what that red hat said that he wore all the time. Put in the chat what the red hat said. Oh, thank you for the donation. Yes, there it go. There it go. Make America great again. Now, why didn't it say make U.S. great again? By chance, do you think Trump knows that the 400 years are up? Do you think by chance that he knows that he has an assignment that must be carried out on a spiritual level? I keep trying to tell y'all, these people, they know spiritually what's going on. They know, they operate out of it. They just keep us in a illusion because we don't know. We don't have an understanding. I ain't saying it, not we. I'm not in that no more. No. Rewind. We're gonna rewind that. Rewind. Bring that back. Bring it back. Some don't have an understanding. They know. He is president of the U.S. What is he doing talking about America? Those are two separate. One's land, one's a corporation. He has the assignment to make America great again. And as painful as it is to see how ICE is operating, as painful as it is to see, it is painful to see what these people are doing, okay? And what they're doing with the babies and taking parents. And it is painful. They are mandated to move everybody back to their original land. So don't think it's crazy that the president of Venezuela, Maduro, which translates all the way back out of a derivative of Moor, had to be brought to American soil. Don't think it's crazy that Cuba is in this. Okay, going back to what's his name? Is it Gaddafi? I think it's Gaddafi. That's a whole nother leg. I don't feel not getting to that right now. And don't think now they went over to the green land. The green land. And when you begin to study Greenland, they already have a sense of sovereignty already. Castro. Where was Gaddafi? Gaddafi, was that Middle Eastern? I don't know. It don't matter. Castro is over at the Cuban. Okay. Thank you for that. So anyway, when you begin to understand the layers, when you begin to understand what's really going on, when you begin to understand it from a spiritual, from a de jure and a de facto standpoint, it all makes sense. It's when you're not proficient in one of those areas, you're doing this. You're just nitpicking and talking and da-da-da-da-da, and Trump ain't shit and all this. I mean, you're just talking. But you don't really have a thorough understanding of what is happening on a spiritual level, what is happening in the de jure, and what is happening in the de facto. And the only people that keep messing us up are those that don't understand. When they don't understand, those are the ones that are making us catch hell. Trump just said he's working on a deal with Greenland. That's a forever deal. The 400 years are up. And, I've been doing very well, though. Okay, Kelly. I did. I let one slip then. I've been doing very well. I have been doing very well. I'm proud of me. I'm not letting my frustrations get to me. Oh, so anyway, maybe I'll come back and I'll do a talk about what's happening with all that. Y'all be tired. I'm trying to tell y'all. You have no idea you have no idea what goes on in a week for me. You have no idea. But I will be back on tonight. Okay, I will be back on tonight. For those who don't know what it is, I say it a lot more than you. Good, I don't feel too bad then. I'll be back on tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those who don't understand what it is to be private, right? I have when we do our new status, new life orientation, where I take them from the beginning of the fraud, and I'll help them see in their everyday life how the fraud is played out, and I explain to them how to become private. So I do that once a month now. I used to do it every Friday when I first got started, but now I do it once a month. And I will say this, for those that pop on, if it's people popping on that already knows about this, I ain't coming on. Okay? I'm only doing this for those that are new. So they can register at They can register at that link right there, link.bio. They can go to the website, newstatusnewlife.com. But that's tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? All right, you guys, I love you so much. This was a rough one today. This was a rough one. So be safe. Okay? Understand what's about to happen on the 26th. Keep your family safe. Be cool. Stay cool. Don't let the blood pressure rise. Keep it cool. Okay? All right. I love you. Until next time. Bye.